Hello everyone, this is Whiskeyjack from the Insecure Gaming channel, and here are my thoughts on Civilization 6. So, the long anticipated Civ 6 came out, and honestly, it's a very solid game, and unlike Civ 5's launch, it feels fully developed and not like something is missing. Again, compared to Civ 5, excluding the key for X elements, it feels like a totally different game. I will go into the major changes and mechanics. I'm sure I'll miss some minor things, but I want to keep the video as short as possible because for a game as big as Civ, it would take a whole hour video or more to explain everything properly. A lot of new mechanics have been added, and mechanics from previous games have been revamped. Almost all of them very successfully, at least in my opinion. First of all, the game map looks amazing and alive. It took some getting used to, but the art style of the map and the game in general, especially new leader animations and the art, is truly wonderful. In terms of gameplay, the biggest change anyone will notice is that cities are now decentralized, which means that you can no longer construct all your buildings inside the city. With a few exceptions that are constructed inside the city, all the other buildings must be constructed in districts, which first have to be built and occupy a tile in the city's borders. Personally, I love this change because you really have to plan ahead of your city's growth, since the number of districts in each city is limited by its size and geography. Plus, wonders must also now occupy a map tile, and most of them have specific tile requirements, and all of this adds an extra layer of strategy to the game. Workers are greatly changed as well. Now, every improvement your worker creates consumes one charge. In the beginning, they have 3 charges and can go up to 5 with some policies, also adding to the decision making and planning of the districts and your improvements. Unit combat is also a bit different. The biggest change would be that even though you can't actually unit stack, later on in the game you can combine 2 or 3 same unit types which have combined strength and toughness, but count as one unit. Also, the rock, paper, scissors of unit types are a bit more pronounced in my experience. For example, a spearman unit is extremely powerful against a cavalry unit. Technology is the same with a cool new twist. You can now speed up the process of your research by completing certain mini quests for each tech, and each tech's quest is in the description of the technology. Another big change is the culture policy tree has been completely rehauled. Now, depending on your research, you can choose specific forms of government, which all have their strengths and weaknesses. And your culture output enables you to research policy cards. Policy cards come in 4 types: yellow, production; red, military; green, diplomatic; and purple for great people, who have also been greatly changed, but I will go into that later. Each policy card has different bonuses for your empire, and your government type dictates how many of each type of policy card you can have. Also, the same type of mini quest discounts apply to the policy research. The new features that mostly caught my eye, other than the districts, are the new trading system and the way you gain great people. There is only one trading unit now, so no need to build trading ships. You just get a trader, and when you assign a trader to a route, he actually creates a road towards his destination from his home city. But the most interesting part, and that which I absolutely loved because it adds to the immersion of the game, is that when your trader is traveling in new lands, he reports back to you all the gossip and information he hears about other civilizations or events in the world. Great people are now very unique units and have abilities depending on who your great person is sometimes, and mostly the era that you got them. And you can also aim for a certain great person if you wish to, since Civ 6 has a great person screen where you can see your progress for each type and who the next great person will be. Oh, and the soundtrack is just wow, simply breathtaking. I was truly awed at how good Civ 6's music and sound design is. Also, Sean Bean narration, which is awesome. All that said, I had a few issues with the game. The most obvious one, and I think the one that keeps the game from being one of the best Civ games ever, is a horribly bad AI. I mean, it's just dreadful. Even worse than Civ 5 in my opinion. They make no logical war moves, no decent trade deals most of the time. They are extremely bad in decision making with their units, and it makes them laughably random war declarations, no matter what their personality is. Also, they tend to be very, very aggressive against each other early in the game. In one save game, I had 6 civilizations destroyed before it turned 200. And mind you, the game speed was set at epic. The atrocious AI possibly also contributes to another issue I've had with Civ 6. The game is way too easy, even in high difficulties, even in deity. If you don't handicap yourself by role-playing or something, and actually try to go for a win condition, the AI simply can't handle it, even though it has ridiculous advantages. Some of my other more minor issues are that your unit lists are hard to find and horribly counterproductive. The loading times can get really long on advanced save games, as well as the age-old Civ problem that in huge maps and a slow game speed, turn processing in the 1900s and beyond can take a while. Also, the new policy card system, while a great idea, is a bit poorly implemented, I think, because I'd say half of them are not bad per se, but obviously not as good as some others, and you have to fight your inner min-maxer to use them. And I personally don't like at all that the game actively discourages you to wage war, because war marker penalties are ridiculous in Civ 6, at the point that every single AI Civ denounces you and hates you as a result. And then trading, having allies, everything becomes nearly impossible. And that really takes away from the immersion of the game. All in all, Civilization 6 is a very solid game and a good Civ experience with a far superior launch Civ 5. Even though I liked the game and I had fun, I have to say that I just could not get into it as I did with the previous Civ titles. I just did not get addicted. I did not get that one more turn craze. After I achieved all the victory conditions with most Civs, I did not have the urge to go for one more game, and if I dominated in the late game, most of the time I didn't even bother winning because it was, well, boring. I had nothing to do. Maybe I'm just weird, I don't know. Other than that, I have to recommend to any and all Civ and 4X fans to absolutely get this game. It's a great experience, and I have faith that its expansions will make it even better. And if they are as good as Civ 5's expansions and DLC, Civilization 6 has the potential to be the best Civ game ever, and probably one of the best 4X games ever. So these were my thoughts on Civilization 6, the most key features in my opinion. And thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and leave your comments below.